Okay, so I decided to make another change here. Well, I was planning to do this, but I was trying to, you know, create like a tan color or something. With we're trying to do this, right? This color or something, add some color accent to this part of the tank. I don't know if you can see back at the one of the reference materials, and when I was doing this, there should be a picture of the cannons on the rear too. And I was going to do this tan color, and I was okay to stick that there. That'll take the place of that, but it looked too big, and it needed to have like more something like gray around it, and then the center circle, right? So to mimic that, I decided to go back and use the gray, light gray, blue gray pieces that were like this that I originally had on here, and I was going to figure out how to color this in down here, and it really came down to, okay, do I mask it off and spray paint it and hand paint it in some of the details, or do I go with vinyl adhesive? And I went with that because I figure I didn't want to bother masking, as well as bust out the airbrush tools and do, that you got to clean the thing afterwards. And so I went with that, and with vinyl instead of paint, and I think it turned out pretty well. I was on the fence whether I was going to do it yellow or maybe a khaki or sand, like this kind of color. It would have worked all the way, but a lot of the photos show images show the area as being more of a yellow color. So I went back with that, and I didn't want to go bright yellow, so this ends up being kind of a pale yellow. Well, it's not super pale, but it's not as saturated as, say, this one looks like a golden yellow or something. And I think that works. Still looks subdued, but so basically, I wish I had a machine to precision cut circles out, but I don't. And I'm not gonna buy one just for this. So what I did was this. I have got the vinyl, and then I just got this circle drawer, different sizes, and that's just judging on this, putting this up against this piece and trying to see which size would be about right. I decided that 7/16, well, that would be for the outline. So I cut one out in black first at 7/16, and then the yellow I made just a bit smaller at 3/13. Was it 32nd? Yeah. So these two, and basically it just came down to carefully drawing a circle and very carefully taking sharp, make sure it's a really sharp X-Acto knife, and just carefully putting it on a mat and just cut it out by hand. And it's not easy, and it's difficult to get it 100% circular, and let alone clean edges, but did what I could, and it took a few tries. I just figure I just keep going at it, and eventually one will be better than another, and that's the way it turned out. You can see it's not perfect, but I think for the most part it looks about right. The only thing is that this is on a curved surface, so this isn't perfectly flat. So the trick is getting the edge of the stickers to lay down completely flat, on the edges. This tends to want to lift up a bit because, see, it's rounded, and trying to put a flat object on there, it's not going to do too well usually. So, and these guns are kind of easy to knock out, so just carefully place this back in, something like that, about that angle. And I took another, so yeah, I cut out a black one, then a yellow one, and then just carefully centered and as best I could to the piece, the black one first, and then the yellow one on top of that, making sure I try to get as much an even edge, black outline around the edge as possible. And at first they turned out different. One had a heavier outline, even though I cut them out of the same, template. Just the way it was all hand cut, there's some slight variances. So I did it over and over until I found one that looked about right, that matched what I was trying to do, that I had one already. And that was it. And then I had already cut out a very thin strip of black adhesive vinyl from a previous project. I think it was from it was actually from that F40 up there, the lines on the side. I had some extra ones, so I just trimmed out a couple of pieces. Let's make a frame, something like that. And then I just laid it across and tried to eyeball it, make it sure. I just try to align with the cannons here, so it just went straight down, match that line. And once I did, I just trimmed off the edges and plucked those off, and that's what I was left with. So I think the only way I can solve this, maybe hair dryer, because I don't have my heat gun here. Maybe just try to set it down with heat, and hopefully I'll just melt, or not melt, but start to distort and form a curved shape more than trying to hold a flat one. And we'll see if I can get that cleaned up. But for the most part, you can't tell, but I know that start to want to lift up a bit. See right there. So yeah, if I painted it, I wouldn't have that issue, but it is what it is right now. Again, I think if I took a hair dryer and just let this vinyl heat up and then set, it'd be cool. While I'm pressing down on it, it may potentially hold better. So I may try that later. For now, I'm just gonna leave it on there. The angles still aren't matching. Angle is slightly, it's closer to being about right, just a smidge more. There we go, a smidge more. Okay, that's about close enough now, and basically aiming straight back. Make sure these are down. Okay, so back up a little bit. That's where I'm at right now. I believe my other parts that I got for the wheels inside here, as well as all the parts needed to redo this tank tread to maybe a more, not maybe necessarily this color, but either in dark gray or maybe a silver metallic potentially, but I'm probably leaning towards a dark gray. And then I think that'll look pretty good. I don't make anything exactly like this brown color in that shape, as far as I'm aware. And yeah, I think once I get those in, I'm going to start on the tank tread, and that should be it in terms of like structural parts. I think I still need to, oh yeah, I still have an extra. It's bugging me to get this out. So here's still some remaining strip. I'm going to use this to detail the side of this part. I think there should be like a line running through here. I'll see whether else there might be something to detail. I would like to get prints or some sticker or something to make it look like vents on these round pieces, but I don't have that yet. And I wish there was something I could do to make like these, I don't know, you call them shutters or something. Like, you look closely here, how this one has like the top and bottom here, it kind of like covers the top and bottom of that light, but I don't see how I can do that. with any real Lego pieces. Yeah, I want to add a triangle for sure as well, and that could potentially be it. And then it should be, I'm going to call this one done and done. Okay, that's it for now. Don't need it to get too long. So yeah, there's no real trick to it. It's just get a good template and a sharp knife so it doesn't snag or pull the vinyl as you're cutting it, and you make sure you get as clean a cut and edges as possible, and then just, you know, line it up carefully, and that's it. All right, I'm out. Thanks for watching.